Do you see my thumbnail quick before it goes away?
A little bit.
So, when you guys were little, you used to watch One Punch, which, by the way, is not One Punch. It's One Piece.
Or there's One Piece and One Punch, and I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff.
Anyway, they used to watch this anime. Is it anime? Anime cartoon. And there's a scene. I don't think it's One Punch though. Maybe they did like a scene like the original, but son, I tried Cactus Juice.
Oh yeah.
Yes. What are the exact words that come to your mind when you hear the words Cactus Juice?
I'm drawing a blank here.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious.
Cactus Juice. Drink Cactus Juice. It's the quenchiest.
Oh, yes, that was Avatar.
It'll quench you.
It'll quench you. It's the quenchiest. I remember this. Yes.
And so now that I have, by the way, there's cactus juice in our fridge. Do not drink it.
Oh, why is it not it?
It will not. It might quench you right before it unquenches you.
Would you say it's the quenchiest?
Yeah, I would say it is the quenchiest. It quenched my very thirsty rocks. That's all I wanted was for you. It was, what's the name of the
Avatar.
Avatar.
And I've been watching that since I was a very little kid.
When you guys used to watch it when you were a little kid, you would play that part over and just laugh because as soon as he was parched, he was in the desert, this character, and he like, you guys, there's water in these cactuses, and he takes a little drink, right? And the next thing you know, his pupils dilate, and he's like,
it turned out to be some kind of psychotic drug or something.
Yeah. And you guys would, I mean, I don't think you knew that when you were little, but you would laugh so hard, and then he would get all goofy, and he was like, Cactus juice, drink cactus juice. It'll quench you. It's the quenchiest.
Like, normally, he's, very serious, laid back guy, but yeah, we used to watch.
Yeah, the next thing you know, he's like, how did we get lost out in the ocean as he's walking through the desert?
Yeah.
And he looks up at the sun and thinks it's his friend, and he's like, who turned my friend into fire?
Another scene from that desert expedition, they have a blind girl in their gang, and they're flying around on this, flying creature they all ride on his back.
Yeah.
And she's blind, and she goes, "There it is!" That's what it'll sound like when one of you guys sees it. I'm completely blind. I don't know why you guys thought I was saying something.
Yeah. And does it work on rocks? Okay, so let me say goodbye to my kid because he is actually getting ready to hit the road. I wanted him here to help me because, I knew it wasn't One Punch, but I couldn't remember what the hell cartoon they made me watch on repeat. Like I say, they would just giggle and laugh every time. It's the quenchiest. It'll quench you. Let me say goodbye to him really quick. Give him a hug and some love and tell him all the motherly things like drive safe and then let me go get my rocks. I love you too. When are you coming back?
Very beginning of April.
Okay.
Coulter's leaving somewhere like literally April 1st, and I'll be back very shortly.
A couple of weeks before you go back to Alaska.
I'm going back to Alaska late May, like May 29th. So I'll be back for like 2 more months. So April, May.
Oh, okay. Yay!
So it'll be good.
Okay, so I have only just a couple of weeks to tumble rocks in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you, son. Please do drive safe.
Will do.
Let me know when you get there.
Okay, I'll try to remember.
Yeah, do try. I know. Sometimes you just get there and you just are done. Yeah. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. I love you.
Catch you later. Love you.
Please try not to smoke any mooses on your way.
I won't smoke any beef or do any moose.
Okay. It's the quenchiest. It'll quench you. Okay, let me say hello to everybody here too, and then we really will look at some rocks. And as I'm sure you guys are curious and want to know, I have not heard of any finds in Ohio yet. I'm sure that when they happen, I will hear about it very shortly after it does happen. but I haven't yet. There's lots of predictions though about where to start looking, and some people agree with a prediction A, and some people agree with prediction B. And like I say, as soon as they find one, it'll be oh, he loves his seatbelt actually, Bear. He took all the money he earned up in Alaska this last summer and bought himself a really nice car. And the first time he took me for a ride in it, he was like, wear your seatbelt, Mom. He's like, It's actually really nice." He's like, "Try it." And I put it on, and he's like, "Check it out. When I hit the brakes, it like gives you a little hug." So he loves his seatbelt actually in his new car. So he does wear it, but he did hit a moose and took out the grill in his new car. So he's lucky that's all that happened. Um, he worked on that a little bit while he was here. Okay, I am gonna go back, read some of the comments, and say some of the hellos. I will not get all the comments read, but welcome again, Angelo. Good to see you back. Addie, Romania, good to see you. Rufo, hello. Ryan, Soul, Lava, good to see everybody. Jeff, J&B, Candy, Brenda, Ma, Bear. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. Okay, so I promise we really are gonna. So we did the cactus juice. In fact, I have another batch. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background or not. There's another batch in the vacuum chamber right now. Sorry, I gotta do something about this wild hair of mine. So I learned some things. Some things happened. Some things worked. Some things didn't. Um, hey there, Yogi. We got all the bears in the house today. Okay, okay. That's a little better anyway. I do want to turn you guys around, and so we can have some discussions about how. First of all, I tried. It's up, but it's kind of. It's just okay. It's whatever. I don't care. Never have. Probably never will. I tried the Opticon first, and only because it arrived in the mail first. Something's loosey goosey here. Wonder what it is. What is Opal guy? You're gonna get me in trouble. Uh, I liked the Opticon because it was fast and easy. I learned some things about it, like the directions were just a little goofy. Like they say, like wipe off the excess. Well, what is that? Is that like give it a wipe with your finger and leave like, a clear coat on here? Or is that like wipe off all of the visible Opticon? I couldn't tell what they meant by the directions they were giving. Hello, Crocagator. So, thanks, Yogi, who says remember to hit the like button, guys. Awesome. Way to be awesome, Betty. Where is the other place that you were at? I'm assuming you're doing the double chat or something there, but just out of curiosity. I'm trying to reach you on Discord. Me, Romania? I don't get on Discord often. I will though if you are actually talking to me. Oh, Fred is live as well. Okay, good. Check out Fred when you're done here, guys. Right? It's a little bit trickier. Yes, and this is that peanut obsidian that I bought down in Arizona. Yes, and then this is a piece of dino bone. And again, this is the Opticon. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Devitrified obsidian. it's fine, you know, I'm sure that you can polish this stuff off, but I learned some stuff about how what I would do different next time. Like, in fact, I think I would just leave a little more of it on there for starters. Um, and maybe use the rack like I learned this time. So we'll discuss that like right about now. So now the cactus juice. This is a lot longer process. Um, you have to bake the rocks first. And hey there, Scott, welcome. And Opal Guy, hello and welcome. He said cactus juice when warmer. Sorry. Actually, I didn't see is that peanut obsidian? Yes. And I actually didn't see your question, so I'm glad that I, accidentally answered it. Mm. Okay, so here's what went wrong with the cactus juice. And I actually had just because I was stubborn and wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket, um had some that turned out really well. So, uh some of these look okay at first glance, right? Not bad. I want everything to be just like I say. Sorry, I'm moving you guys around. Something is a little loosey goosey in this tripod today, and I can't quite put my finger on which one of the things it is. Um, they turned out great. I got to try that cactus juice. Looks like it would help a lot of things. Okay, so yeah, um, this is the Spencer uh, Galaxy Obsidian. Natural silicate water or something. Who knows? Yeah, that'd be interesting, right? I already did stabilize these Romania. And I used the cactus juice on this batch of rocks that we're looking at here. Um, if any of you have ever cut any of the Spencer Opal Galaxy Obsidian, you know that it can be pretty finicky. Some of it's really great and already ready to go already. In fact, I've already made a couple of little cabochons out of that material that were great. They were fine. But this material, which is actually really pretty, um, especially when wet, which that didn't help a lot. Um, I love all these little like plumes and I mean, of course, all the Spencer stuff is full of those little balls anyway, right? Like so many of those little balls that they fall out of the Spencer stuff and you can collect them. I thought I had some right on the desk. I know they're right behind me. Sometimes the Spencer stuff gets big balls and sometimes it gets teeny, teeny, weeny little tiny balls. But when it's still in the matrix like that, it can be really pretty. So I had cut some of this and then, you really couldn't do a whole lot with it, especially these pieces because they were pretty crumbly. So I thought, while we're figuring this out, that'd be good. So what went wrong? Just with this half of the rocks. The other half turned out great, and we'll look at those next. Well, there's quite a bit of cactus juice on this side of this rock, and it doesn't look really terrible. There's quite a bit here too, but there's like some bubbling and stuff you can kind of see. That one doesn't really look awful either. For those who want to watch AZR live after this oh yes, and thank you Rufo for mentioning that. So it was like AZRE were inside my head or something, right? It just you couldn't have planned a series of events that would have worked out more serendipitously than had this series of events. So AZRE, Brian and Julie interviewed the guy that makes the cactus juice. By the way, this rock completely split and is completely stuck back together with the cactus juice. And it was really helpful. We went back to the video several times and just listened to every word this guy said, and we tried literally to follow his instructions to a T. Like, we were trying to be super careful. Like, what did he say to do here? Do exactly that thing. But we ran into some spots where, yes, we understand. Bake them to get all of the moisture and especially the saw oil out of them. So we baked them overnight at least. I can't remember exactly how long we baked them in the oven for. And I knew that most of these rocks, the peanut obsidian, and this is a material that I find out here on the prairie every once in a while. This is one of the nicer pieces of it I've ever found. And I've sold some of this before, but I've only charged like $3 a slice for it because, gosh dang, it was a little bit brittle, and you'd get to making a cab out of it and it would break at, about the time you thought you were finished with it. So, the line between obsidian and rhyolite seems pretty blurry to me. And then people start throwing the term jasper around with the rhyolites, and I'm all lost and turned around backwards and F trade names. F trade names. Oh, they can be so frustrating. And especially when you pick something up and you're like, oh, this sure looks like a rhyolite. And then you go trying to figure out what the heck it is. And you're searching in the rhyolites. And then you're like, oh, guess what? That's an obsidian. Yeah, it's about enough to madden a person, isn't it? Sometimes. This material, by the way, also is a material that I find out here. And it'll break on you right in the middle of your cab. So again, I didn't know what I was doing. And so it was, hope it was a spare oven, says Yogi. Yes, it was. In a well ventilated room as well. So we baked them, and then we put them in the vac chamber with the cactus juice for like it was a lot more than 24 hours to get the bubbles to come out all the way out. Look at that little druzy bug right there. Ooh, that thing is pretty. And then let them sit for at least as long as it took to suck the bubbles out. So if it takes 24 hours to get all the bubbles out, then let them sit for 48 in the cactus juice is the way that we understood it. We could be really wrong, right? But like I say, we watched Brian and Julie's video. We read the directions several times, and it was the closest thing to like, maddening as we've experienced in this house in quite a while. Anyway, we had put, like I say, the Opticon ones, I put them on tinfoil when I baked them. And I didn't really love the way that turned out. And Joseph and I had two different ideas. He was pretty adamant that you could put this Opticon or the cactus juice right on the tinfoil as well, and that it would be fine. And I suggested we use a wire rack. So we did that, and you can see where my wire rack left a couple of little marks on this piece. Maybe you can if I can get the light to shine. There we go. You can see my little wire mark right there. So what happened is I put the wire on a tinfoil covered cookie sheet. You can see the wire marks right here too. I mean, they're barely there. You can see them, but you can't feel them or anything. I put one single pebble under the middle of my wires so that it was, just elevated just a little bit. And so towards the edge of the wire, where these rocks sat near the edge of the wire, they did in fact touch the tinfoil underneath of the wire and left this little mark here. which, yeah, no big deal. That's not a total fail or anything, right? I mean, that's a pretty okay result. Hmm, interesting. Who would think cooking rocks in the oven? I know. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you too. Like the ones that I did cut in the oil, you could definitely smell the oil baking out of the rocks. And right about the time, the smell kind of went away, and I was like, oh, I should go check on them. I decided to flip them over, and the smell, like, reinvigorated and everything when I flipped them over. So, uh, it's obviously getting some of the oil out of the rocks to bake them like that. And yeah, I would have never thought, especially as dry as it is up here in Montana. I'd have been like, they're certainly they're dry enough, but I would have not thought about the oil being an issue. Anyway, so the ones that were on the rack and just kind of reached down and touched the tin foil didn't turn out too bad. The ones that were directly on the tin foil, though, I won't do that again. Ever. Ever, ever. It's not the end of the world that there's that much cactus juice on them, because you can certainly go grind it off of there, but it looks like shit. And it's just one extra step you have to go do now that you wouldn't have otherwise had to go do. So if you don't have some kind of a wire rack that you can set up to put your stuff on, you can put it directly onto, I've heard that too, like little skewers or something. Thank you, Jahik, for that tip, by the way. He says prop it up on toothpicks or on dowels. It didn't make any sense to me why it wouldn't stick to the wood like it would stick to other rocks or anything else like that. But um, Bear Ma says Bear, if it helps, obsidian has no crystal structure and rhyolite does. Sure, but Ma, but that doesn't stop people from putting trade names on rocks that doesn't make sense. Calling them the wrong thing. Um, yeah, I'm not thrilled with that at all. So just learn from my suckery here that use a rack. The wire that I used turned out great. So let me show you this wire that I used and the result that came from it. And I also was afraid that I was just gonna like super weld my rocks to this wire. That's why I tried two different ways. Is because if that way I wouldn't mess up the whole batch if something went wrong. So I took this just ordinary rock, like really ordinary rock, and I placed it in the middle of my cookie sheet. And then I put this rock wire rack over the top of it. So like I say, I didn't have it fully elevated, and from now on I'll put something in all four corners instead, because the only place that it showed the wire rack marks on them on the rocks was on the very edge of the rack. Let's see, you guys can maybe zoom out a little bit. It was on the very edge of the rack where it way over here had bent down and touched. So, and then all of the, cactus juice that dripped down off the rocks kind of collected in the middle and on this poor little poor little rock that's just soakered in it now. But this wire rack, and it's not even really a wire rack, it's just a piece of like thicker screen that I had laying around, and that I've used in the past to like classify material, to sort bigger rocks from littler rocks. And yeah, I was totally worried that it would stick like shit to this, and it did not. So if you have something like this around the house, please do try it instead of sticking them right on. Because the ones that were on directly on the metal instead of on the tinfoil versus metal rack. they turned out amazing. So here's the tinfoil, or here's the wire rack result. Absolutely no cleanup required. They came out stunning. Just perfect. So like I say, you definitely can put them on the tinfoil, but why? It just, I mean, if you needed to, if you had to, but it just adds a step that otherwise you wouldn't have to go clean that off of there. Not one wire rack mark on not one of these. They're just sharp and clean and ready to go on both sides and stable. You know, this stuff before, it didn't, if you looked at it wrong, the pieces fell right off of it. So, and what if I only have aluminum foil? Right. If that's all you have, go for it, because you can absolutely take these pieces over to the flat lap and polish that excess stuff right off of there. Gosh, everything, focus. So, and like I say, I didn't have any sticking to the wire rack that I have, and I don't know what it is. If it's, I don't know what it is made out of, what kind of metal, but they came out just flawless, every one of them. So I will not again. I have 2 of these, and I will use them every time from now on. Are these new ones? Yep. Even this little bitty guy got set in the stuff and done. Oh, look, there's one little teeny tiny bit right there. Guess what? I'm over it. Parchment paper works really good too. Yeah, I don't think I would set directly on anything ever again. Like you could probably do parchment paper if you didn't have aluminum foil, and you could probably use parchment paper instead of aluminum foil. Underneath of, like Jahik said, using some skewers or some toothpicks or something. They did suggest that you use, you know, some wood to lift them up. The thing that the guy said on Brian and Julie's video, that made me not put them directly on the tinfoil was uh, that they needed to be on some kind of a drip, a way to drip. And like I say, it did drip. It did do that, and it all collected around this sacrificial little pebble that I put in the underneath of the wire. So, like I say, what I'll do next time is put a sacrificial pebble, hello Betty, on all 4 corners of my rack, and maybe one in the middle too. I'm just digging this little druzy pocket here. And now, like I say, this is material that I found out here, and I've always been like, it's really pretty. I mean, it is pretty, but it was too crumbly to do anything with. And then Dino Bone Galore came out of that batch, and the Dino Bones turned out great. Like, oh my goodness. There's so much more ready to go now. We looked at all of those already. We looked at all of Peanut. And the Spencer and the blue. Was there an orange one in there? No, there wasn't. So, yeah, I dig it. And I've got another batch of Dino Bone, all Dino Bone, just whole chunks. I'm getting messages from Dustin Dickens right now on Messenger, which is exciting. You guys saw me accidentally meet Dustin Dickens. And then, do you guys watch Tectonic City? You know, hey there, professor, look at my rock. Now tell me what's, you know, what, look what I brought. Now tell me what's my rock. That guy. and after he had a guest on and he had interviewed Dustin Dickens about it. You guys might know him from there, Dustin from there. I know Dustin Dickens from just being involved in meteorites. So, but yeah, Dustin Dickens is on his way to Ohio. Ooh, I got a Charlie horse in my leg. Oh, okay, I'm okay. And he was like, "Will I see you there? I hope I get to see you there." And I was like, "No, I'm sorry. I'll be rooting from the sidelines unless it's something really cool. And then even still, then I probably won't make it." But um, his plane had some kind of a delay or a layover, and so he's like chomping at the bit in the airport right now, trying to get there. Betty, what's going on? I will not eat them. What are we not eating? With seeing baking. Oh yeah, even though it's on kitchen stuff, parchment paper and stuff. Yeah, no. Like I say, I actually had to tell my kids, like, do not drink the cactus juice in the fridge. It is not the quenchiest. It quenched my rocks so good though. And just this little chunk that broke off when we were cutting. So I started to cut this piece of dino bone and realized how not stable it was. Sorry, it was a little out of focus there. So I stopped cutting, and there was still quite a large chunk of it. So I just tossed that in there too. Balls. Me. You better call me. Yes, exactly, Rufo. And just for anybody who's watching but can't follow along, if you're lurking while you're working or watching the replay, he said, Rufo says, if one ever falls within hours of my house, please call me nonstop to get a hold of me until I'm out there looking. Yeah, it's been a little bit like that. God, I can't believe how good these turned out, you guys. Seriously? And let's just like admire that peanut obsidian for a little while. Is it not the coolest stuff you guys have seen in a minute? I like the little dashes of white. Yeah, so it has been like that a lot the last few days. Everybody kind of trying to get coordinated. I met Now I have to stop and think about it. Okay, I met a guy in Mark Lyon's room. Gosh, I love it. I freaking love it. And he recognized me off of Topher Spin Meteorites and was like, "Hey, it's Allison." And he was so excited to meet me. And he's like, "I've been watching Topher Spin for, quite a while now. Big fan. Can I get a picture with you?" He says, "With all of you," he says, because he's just wigging. And I know how it feels. I was starstruck several times also while I was there. And so he got a picture with me and Roberto Vargas and Mark Lyon. And I saw him comment on Facebook last night that, that's only a couple hours away from him. And should he stay or should he go? And I was like, you should go. You should definitely go. Find that bull-eyed buddy. Um, and I told him, I was like, he said, "But I have to work." And I was like, "Yeah, but you'll have days off." And I have a feeling that there'll still be plenty of that material available to find um, on your days off. Like, you don't have to leave right now. I think there'll be enough of it that they'll be finding it for a minute. I'm actually really surprised that they have not found any of it yet. Oh, it's so stinking cool. I love this material. And now it's stabilized. Yay! Um, and anyway, so Nate is this guy's name, and he was like, "Yeah, I've never hunted before. Hey there, Fred." And I have no idea how to start, what to do. Um, And I told him it's going to be just like going to Tucson, buddy. Just go. Get there and you'll start running into people. You'll start running into hunters and, you know, trading information with people there and finding information as you go along and like you don't know who you're going to meet in Tucson or how it's all going to go down, but you go anyway, right? So um yeah, it's like I say, it's been a lot of like really you know messaging a lot, and then like Marissa too, like I said last night, and I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch that or not, but Marissa is hunting today uh from her wheelchair, of course, because this fell just like it passed by her house and landed just pretty much in her backyard, not technically, but it couldn't have got any closer to her. And so I'm super excited to hear that Marissa's out hounding, maybe for multiple days, maybe not just one. So she has hunted in known strewn fields before and been successful. So she's even got one up on me. I've never hounded any falls or strewn fields or found any meteorites of my very own in the wild or anything like that. So good for her. But yeah, I'm so excited for her to get out and hunt, and I hope she finds something. So there's been a lot of like, here's the weather data. Let's share that all over the place. Here's the, you know, visual and audio. Here's what NASA thinks. Here's what, so and so thinks. So a lot of messaging back and forth. A lot of, are you going? No, I'm not, but I'm encouraged. I'm rooting from the sidelines for you guys. Look at that little blebbers. It's just the coolest. I have as well, Rufo. And so has Betty, she says. I have found my fair share of meteor rungs. You gots to though. Yeah, I think that's I think you have to. Nah, maybe not. There's been people who have accidentally found them, or that they fall through your roof or land in your driveway or something. I just like I say, I'm so pleased with how these turned out. It's very true. It's very true. I pick at least one up every time I go out too. At least. But hey, it could happen, says Bear and says Betty. Agree. Yeah, why was the asteroid afraid of the comet? Because he was a little meteor. Somebody cut you, little bone. I never even noticed that till now. That's okay. Um, yeah, so like I say, this stuff just turned out so cool. It just the cactus juice. Follow the directions the best you can. I do think that is beneficial. Hey there, Lonnie. Mm-hmm. I actually have some more of this. Oh, and then I have lava. Plug your ears if you don't want to hear me throw you under the bus. Oh, there's another little dino bone that came out of the good batch. I was gonna say something. Now, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just so excited about this meteorite stuff that Spot can't think straight. Oh, that I was gonna throw Bison under the bus. That's right. Would you say that protection from yourself by the Bad Batch is salvageable? Absolutely. Yes. In fact, I already did take a couple of these pieces that were in the worst shape. That looked like this on the back of them, that looked just absolutely horrendous. I already did take a couple of those. Let's see if I can actually pick one of those out of here. I actually did take a couple of these already. Like, I bet you that's one. Like, it's kind of a little silkier smooth here on this side. And oh, it is. Look, I missed just a little piece and was like, yeah, I'm over it. I already ground this one looked like this and had junk all over it. I already ground it off. And you really can't tell the difference between that one that I've already ground and the ones that were up on the rack and came out nice. But like I say, you can do this and it will turn out just like this. Like if I would have just paid a little better attention and got that last little bit off there, you'd have never known. But it's just an added step that you can take out of the equation if you put them up on some metal instead of directly onto the parchment or whatever. So yeah, they're totally usable. And I ground the stuff off of this on a 60 grit wheel. 60. Because Joseph's doing another million cabochons. I thought that he had left them here, but maybe not. So, here, this will be a good example of how many he's doing. We went through all of the slabs that and I'm gonna still throw you under the bus. I do remember now still. We went through all the slabs that Jahek and Ryan sent to congratulate the channel on 1,000 subscribers. We took all of those slabs and we took all of the slabs, not all, most all. We made it through most of Jerry's. All of the slabs that Jerry sent and cut all of them, all of the slabs into cabochons. And of course, that leaves you with a bunch of like really rough rocks. So then you take all of these really, look, you could still make a cab out of that, except that it's kind of boring. You're left with all these really rough pieces. Look, that one didn't make it. It broke. We could tumble these, sure, but then, like I see, you have like pre-shaped cabs, but they've got, you know, a crap load of still stuff on them to make them more shapy. And so he took, like I say, we cut 99 cabs. instead of taking them over to the 180 for pre-shaping, he put them on a 60 grit to pre-shape. And so I did a piece of peanut obsidian on the 60 grit, and it totally took it, and it didn't even leave a bunch of like nasty grooves or anything. So those rocks are just like beyond stabilized. That Cactus Juice is amazing stuff. Anyway, just to, yeah, kind of. That's what the nubbins from 99 cabochons look like. Any of that material look familiar? Jerry, Brenda, Ryan, Jahik? Anybody recognize any of these pieces as stuff you sent? Oh, sorry. Yes, says Brenda. Let's see. This one's probably Brenda's and Jerry's material. This one I'm sure Brenda and Jerry sent, the Mookite. This looks like it came from Jahik's stuff, if I remember right. That's my stuff. I've got that leopard jasper here. That looks like probably a Caleb slab. That definitely came from Caleb's stuff. I remember that one. That one's so dirty I can't even tell. There's some more Mookite and stuff from Brenda and Jerry. There's some more. Yeah, so we spent literally a whole evening tracing out shapes and cutting and grinding and grinding and cutting. And so, yeah, he had the 60 wheel rolling on the flat lap so that he could make quick work of, getting into these edges and stuff, not be there forever. And yeah, the fact that the peanut obsidian took a 60 grit and survived without crumbling and looks nice. Effing winning. Winning. Big old W for the win. So yes, it looks like crap right now, but it ain't no big thing, chicken wang. It'll come off there. And it's stable. It's stable enough to do that. So this work coming up, my kid just left, so guess what? Somebody gets to go start her tumbler again, thank goodness. I love my kid, but I like to use his room to run my tumbler. Yeah, I suggest anything of this similar nature that you can find. Like I say, this is just a rough piece of something I had laying around. And they can hear you. The baking part though, before the rocks go in the vac chamber, let's talk about that for just a second. I had a piece of let me go put those back really quick and grab the piece that we'll talk about. Pardon me, be right back. Ooh, my camera, tripod there is a little wonky too, it looks like. Okay. Look, it's green for St. Patrick's Day. Everything is green. I picked up this cool green opal in Tucson. I love it. It's got little bands of like purple and like druzy pockets, and oh, it's just neat, right? Like I even like the way like the brown and orange kind of play along. Anyway, I cut like I can't remember 5 slabs or something out of this rock. And there's, oh my God, it's so pretty. Look at the bot hole on the outside of it right there. There's another one on the side somewhere. Oh, it's so cool. Anyway, I caught like 5 wicked mega big slabs out of this and was super excited. Um, Lava Bison tried, like I say, this is another 100 cabs. He tried cabbing some of this, and it did kind of want to break and stuff. And of course, this is just rough. This is 100 grit, just shaped, not at all polished. So since they were giving him a little trouble, I was like, then let's stabilize that material. Oh, look, he captured a bot pocket in that cab. Oh my God. That's going to be amazing if it survives the polish. I might throw it in the next batch of stabilizing stuff. So, poor lava. Like I say, since it gave him a hard time a little bit, was a little bit crumbly and kind of wanted to break and things. Another one. See, some of the live edges are kind of tricky. I thought, well, we'll stabilize that, and then we'll really be off to the races. That'll make some of the prettiest daggone stuff you ever seen. You know, I mean, but seriously, those are going to be pretty. Anyway, I cut that in the big saw with the oil, and the recommendation is to bake it to get the oil out. Anybody for science want to guess what happened? Anybody? Anybody? What happened to my beautiful green opal slabs as soon as lava put them in the oven? They did not explode. They did not craze. Explosion and crazing would have been interesting. They got cleaner. Well, the oil probably did come on them. They didn't scream. No. Never heat a wet rock. It wasn't wet. It didn't crack. These are good guesses for science. The color changed, Betty. They lost their coloring, says Bear. Yes, the color did change, Cynthia. Good guess. They turned black. They look more like this now. They look a lot more like this than they do like this now. I mean, it's pretty still. It's like black body with like white calcedony running through it or something. Roasty toasty. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody warned me about that either. So look at us learning things together for science. Maybe don't bake the oil out of your opal. I'm glad I didn't throw like a whole load of like precious opal in there or something and be like, oh, that sucked. Oh, thank God it was just common opal. Well, I'll take some black opal. Shoot, says Barry. Yeah, well, I'll send a piece your way. I'm actually building a box for you. So, yeah, that happened. Lava felt like well, let's just say it put a little black mark on his soul for just a minute. Yeah. certainly didn't think about it until after it was already done. And yeah, he opened the oven and he looked inside and he was like, "Oh no. Will you still love me if I ruined your opal?" It's like, "Yes, I will still love you." Because I should have thought about that too, but I was like, "Yeah, this worked so good. This worked so good. Like, let's go. Let's do another batch. Like, yo, let's go." And then I might have sent her just a little too hard there, buddy. Oh, well, thank you, Fred, for stopping in, and have a very awesome rest of your week. And I'll keep you guys posted on if there's rocks on the ground in Ohio that have been retrieved. If you overnight ship to Bear, does it make Black Opal direct? You know, almost. I don't know, Bear. I don't know if it's just on the color on the surface or if it's all the way throughout. And I guess it is strange that it changed color, but also not strange that it changed color. I mean, opal's kind of temperamental like that. And yeah, hey there, Josh. Yeah, that was I mean, that happened. Oopsies. Uh Lava was all excited about it too, you know, like what next? What next? Like I'm gonna stabilize everything in this house, by the way. Um I'm not temperamental. He was all like, "Do you want me to take the big chunk too, and we can like stabilize it before we even cut it?" And I was like, "Yeah, nah. Like I'm not in a hurry to get to the big chunk." And I like withheld the big chunk from him, and then like after it after it happened, I was like, "I'm kind of glad I didn't give you my big chunk. I didn't let you ruin that too." I'm sorry, he didn't ruin it. He really didn't. I'm gonna pick on him just a little though, because I do still love him. Oh, it's okay. You live, you learn. And I learned, and then I said something, you know, so hopefully you guys can learn too, right? Yes, yes. Good to see everybody, and yeah, hopefully everybody is having a rockin' Wednesday. Woo! Don't put your opals in the oven. If you do a test sample first. I was worried more about the dino bone. Like it just felt super ridiculous to me to bake the dino bone for like 24 hours. I was like, really? Like it's already such a thirsty, dry rock that mm, excuse me, that it just seemed impossible to me that it was and again, our dry environment. And baking is being mean. Is it being mean? I don't know about that. I felt like it was a little mean and a little bit excessive to the dino bones. But like I say, if I got to be really honest with you, they look amazing. And Lava had tried to, in fact, he did. Oh, I sent him with his rocks last night. I was going to show you the couple of dino bone cabs again that he did, but he's got them with him, and that's okay. Um, he rough cut one out of the batch already the other night and was like, "Woohoo, that puppy's hard." Um, and again, this peanut obsidian was horrible. Like you just rub the side of it and pieces fell off of it. You just look at it the wrong way and it, you know, pieces fell off of it. I think I had only two pieces that came out that you can see there's a pretty good crack down the middle of that, like from my thumb up. I think I only had like 2 pieces that came out of the saw in whole, and it was like, "Oh god, don't let them fall apart." Um, so the fact that, they're to it's and yeah, that you could take one of these to what I say, 60 grit, a freaking 60 grit, and it held up. That's amazing to me. That's amazing. And yeah, everything just came out super beautiful. So, yes, there's another batch in the vacuum chamber right now. Most I know Bone could do with a cactus juice bath. I kind of agree most. Um, hey there, Greg. Yeah, thanks for stopping in to say hi. And you know that meteorite that just landed in Ohio kind of zipped over Canada real quick before it landed in the States, right? So, it was this close to being a Canadian fall instead. That's funny. Resorts talking about, stable in different things, and you know, um, Jerry, Wisconsin rock stalker, I think, is quoted for saying that he could stabilize a cotton ball if he wanted him to. And I'm like, you might could. Maybe you could. That's kind of interesting, actually. I might have to try that for science. So yeah, I'm way less worried about my rocks being wet, damp, moist, whatever word you like or dislike. Choose your word there. And I'm more worried about getting the oil out of them, the saw oil out of them. And so, I had slabs and stuff that if I don't know where they came from, if I didn't cut them and they might have oil in them, they're gonna get a bake. They're gonna get an extra good long bake to make sure that we got all of the saw oil out of them. And they're gonna get a bake anyway, just to make sure that we literally do have all of the moisture pulled out of them. One, we did this in 2 tubs, 2 containers down inside the vac chamber. And then, like I say, I put it on 2 different baking styles too. And this one is the one that turned out most awesome. Uh, the 2 containers, one cactus juice container was great, and we're using the most of it right now in this next batch. The other one kind of turned to cow snot though. And is that because we didn't get all the oil out of the rocks? Because it got too warm? Because it just wanted to turn to cow snot. I don't know. But yeah, it has some wicked goobers in it. So I don't know what happened to that batch, but um, I'm hesitant now. I'm like, I want to make sure I got everything clean and dry and not ruin a container of cactus juice by turning it to cow snot. So, yeah, I've been a little bit more careful this time even than I was last time too. I put the vac chamber right on the kitchen counter last time, and this time I put it on the floor over underneath that kitchen window back there. It's really usually quite chilly there, so I know purple skeleton does sound kind of cool. It kind of does. Betty said, what did she say? That sea otters eat purple sea urchins to get purple tinted skeletons. Well, that's pretty dang cool. I think you're right. Lava bison, or at least dark, maybe not fully black. But now we're talking about black chickens and sea otters. You guys are great. I love this scientifically curious community we have. Mm, I truly do. Yeah, there might have been a ground in that last sweller. Might have stuck to my tonsil just a little bit. So, Yeah, they're between the first batch and the batch of dino bone that's in there right now, and the batch that I'll probably do here again very soon. I was just a little like let's do everything. And again, I'm kind of glad that I didn't just huck like literally everything at it all at once. So and I'm sure this won't be the first or the last time, you know, it will be the first, but maybe not the last time that I come across the discovery that I'm like, hey, that did not work. Shoot, this wasn't even the first. This was the first. You can put it directly on the tinfoil. I don't recommend it though. Yes, you can, if that's what you need to do to get the job done. If you can do it any other way though, I will give that a go instead. So, uh, yeah, I'm like I said, kind of glad I didn't just throw it all at the oven in one swoop. Um, that is not the piece that I hope to reach in and grab. So I grabbed some Spencer stuff when I was there. Yeah, I think they are actually, Betty. Um, to cut. And to make some slices out of. And we did cut some of it, and then, like I say, it was a little bit finicky, a little bit fragile. It is not the piece I was looking for, and so I kind of delayed cutting any more of it. I was like, yeah, you know, it's fine, but it ain't all that in a bag of Skittles, if it's just gonna fall apart. Gosh dang it, I had a super foxy red, kind of red colored piece like this that it's in that bucket, it just isn't on the top. Anyway, the Spencer stuff did, I actually was keeping this piece because of all of the halite opal that's on it. And so had decided not to cut this piece, but it's similar in color and pattern. The other one's a little prettier, but um yeah, now that I actually can stabilize some of this stuff, I really might be cutting some more of this because it's super cool. It just was hard to work with if you were about to finish a piece and it, you know, cracked and broke. So um yeah. And this stuff took to the oven just fine. It didn't blacken the little inclusions or anything. It already was black with parts of it that are black or already black. I do love the other kind too. Oh, you're not getting a clear picture. I always see like little smiley faces and stuff in the little blobs. So uh I will be careful. That's for sure. I will be careful when stabilizing Spencer material and, you know, be cautious that if there is in fact opal in there that we may not want to bake it like it needs to bake in a purple water. You're my boy bear. Oh my god. I don't know why that made me laugh the way it did, but it did. Um, do I have anything else that I wanted to talk about today? I don't think so. Not that I know of. I don't think I even made anything. I did make um a bracelet, but it's not all that a bag of Skittles. It's nice. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. But um I didn't like shape and polish the stone this round or anything. Like I usually have a couple things going on, but I did a lot of video editing There is a video this week, and it's not the one that I put out about the NASA stuff either. That was kind of a bonus video this week. Um, I did a pay dirt bag from, is it sitting right here? No, it's not. Montana. No, not Montana. From jimprospectors.com. I can't remember. Gosh dang it. Uh, we did a pay dirt bag. It was a lot of fun actually. And there'll be a review on that. So it was Missouri River gravel, so sapphires, garnets, gold, possible finds in there. Um, we didn't find any garnets. We'll leave it at that. Well, I'll let you guys go watch the video when it comes out. Uh, yeah. So the bag is done, and Prairie Kid printed me a gold pan to help with that. 3D printed a gold pan since I couldn't find my gold pan, and yeah, like I say, it's mostly done. The only thing I didn't get done because all of a sudden rocks started. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Rocks started falling from the sky. The only thing I didn't get done is the very end clip where I show you what we found and drop the stuff on a scale and see what it weighs and get a close up of it. So as soon as I get that done. Yeah, and Josh, it's funny that you're here actually because you were like, you should do a gold panning video. And I was like, I actually have some material and it is in the plan and it isn't necessarily a gold panning video, but maybe gold in this pay dirt. Um, like I say, there wasn't any garnets in there, but you'll have to go watch and see what we find, and decide for yourselves if it was a must or a bust kind of pay dirt bag. You'll get my opinion, but also I never want to force you guys an opinion, and yeah, not a paid promotion or anything. We bought the bag. They're not paying me to say nice things about them or anything like that. But yeah, right, close enough, right? Yeah. So that'll be out hopefully later this afternoon, as long as I get a minute, and it may be later this evening if as soon as I get done here they're like, we found rocks on the ground. I may be like, yeah, let me see, and never mind my video. So, uh, but yeah, I'll let you guys know as soon as I know if anything's been found in Ohio, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I know like what I think about it. Is it just another ordinary chondrite? Probably another H, or L, or just like all the rest of them that have hit recently. It's just kind of ordinary, and it wouldn't be exciting to collectors if it hadn't made such a grand entry. Or is it going to be like, oh, Prairie Girl like, Prairie Girl need a piece. I'm excited to find out. As soon as I get to see pictures of it, I'll let you guys know. I'll start speculating and guessing as to what type it might be. And as soon as there's pieces of it available to be purchased, I'll let you guys know in case, that's something you're interested in as well. Ooh, look at you be cool there, Tomcat Josh, who was at the Iron Pyrite location last weekend. If you're not subscribed to Tomcat Josh, you need to watch. He gets up to some mighty adventurous things in his Joshua's journeys. So worth checking out for sure. Neat dude. And yeah, gold fever is definitely real. So is opal fever. He did, Brenda. He did. He did. He's got a couple pieces, actually. He's got a couple pieces. Poor lava. He's got a piece at work too, at his work. And it's a small world up here. They're, like, what are there, like 200 people in this town? And it takes, like, what, 6 towns to make one high school with 20 kids per grade? It's pretty rural out here, like super rural. And so it's kind of the same folks, here, there, and everywhere. And in my time in customer service, I've had the privilege of a local guy here, and he's convinced beyond reason, no other option. End of discussion that he has found meteorites and he finds them all over out here. That should be your first clue. But is that what he said? No, no. Um, he's brought several of them for me to look at, and I've done the best that I can to just kindly explain to him why I know they're not meteorites. And he explains to me why he knows they are, and I explain to him why I know they're not, and he explains to me why he knows they are. And I've taken a few of them home just to be kind, like yeah, and in fact I might even still have one in my dish over here. Let me see if I do. I might not too. Oh, and the debate has gone back and forth between me and this particular gentleman for years. Years. I don't have one in this dish. I thought I might, but I don't. Like I say, I've taken a rock or two from him on more than one occasion, just to kind of put his mind at ease that I will look at it under jeweler's loop. I will do blah blah blah. Thank you, Josh. Well, in that though, happy green holiday week, and thank you very much, Josh, for inviting all those folks to the community. Anyway, poor poor Joseph. I've told Joseph before too. I've been like, yeah, I've looked at this guy's rocks, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, and he and I have gone back and forth on it, and like we can agree to disagree and still be friends, right? Anyway, yeah, he brought. He didn't know that Joseph was into that kind of stuff until I don't know how he found out, just like last week, and he brought a couple to Joseph's work. I was like, look at my meteorites, and Joseph was like, no, buddy, that ain't what you think it is. And you've got to know that, like, Joseph works. There's three guys that work in the shop there together, and they've all known each other for years. And like they'll laugh at each other over some pretty silly stuff, like like if you're pulling on something and you accidentally slip and hit yourself, like you hit yourself, okay, yeah. Anyway, his two coworkers are in the other room watching this all go down. And they're just like, oh, he told him it's not a meteorite. Oh, he got mad about it. Oh. Oh. And so I'm sorry, Joseph, that you had to do that. um, he's a great guy. He really is. He's just like, but the thing of it is too is that even if he wants his rock to be worth $6,000 and he tells you that it is and you disagree and he does agree, he's really not hurting anybody because he's actually not trying to actively sell it for $6,000. That's just a price that he's put on it while it sits on his shelf or his windowsill. He really isn't blasting it all over the interwebs and like for sale, $10,000 worth of carbonado diamond. He's not that guy. He's not. That's he's just he's kind of a lonely dude who likes to pick up rocks, and the story that he's got for himself and at the grandifies his rocks is not hurting anybody. And so while I still can't agree, I can't tell him, wow, good looking, cool meteorite. Hey man, we should, get that classified. um, I can't say that he's hurting anybody either. He's really just minding his own business, and he just wants you to believe that his rocks are meteorites as much as he does, and I just can't. I feel bad. Like I say, we leave always on good terms, him and I, where we're like, we shake hands, we're still friends, and wish each other happy hounding for sure. And I'm sure that even if it was was a little bit awkward for both him and Joseph in that moment, and even maybe Joseph's coworkers in that moment. I bet that he doesn't hold any bad feelings against Joseph for that. I know he doesn't. He'll be back, in fact. Get ready. He'll be back for more. Oh, yeah, I wish that I could help educate him. I really do, Brenda, because if he's gonna be serious about it, he might as well be out there looking for the right thing, right? Like and picking up and maybe just by accident he might someday. So I never don't look at his rocks. I'm never like, oh, it's the same thing again. You know, I'm always like, yeah, let me see what you got. So, but yeah, this is a small community and yeah, it doesn't take too terribly long for you to bump into that one person who's got that weird quirk. Maybe he will bring a real one next time, right, Brenda? I mean, you just never know. Like I say, I love doing rock ID. I really actually do enjoy doing rock ID. And whether the person just wants the quick easy answer so that they can put it to bed and move on, or whether they want to the more educated and detailed explanation of it, either way, I really love doing rock ID when it works out like that. Um, and when the person can cope with the fact that I may say no and that I don't want to ruin and crush dreams. That's not what I want to do, but I do actually like doing rock ID. I also don't like doing rock ID when the person is so emotionally attached to their idea or their story or financially hoping to gain that they suddenly attack you, you know. You just want to take the credit for my discovery. You won't confirm my discovery. You obviously this would devalue your collection, so you won't confirm it. I mean, I've had some really horrible things said to me because I've been honest with people and like just scratch the surface, like just like the first exchange goes straight to, you know, you and your goonies are all up against me and you know like oh it's rough sometimes, it's super rough sometimes. So like I say, I actually do enjoy doing rock ID and I've had more than a handful of locals. I've got a piece sitting on my back porch, I've kept it. uh a local guy, oh god, he's got to be 97 years old and he's still out and about. uh he said, you know, sweetheart, back in, 1902, I saw a meteorite and it landed and I went and picked a piece of it up. Not likely, not a likely story, but I'll look at the piece. Well, and it turned out to be some kind of an obsidian or like piece of coal or something. He wasn't, I mean, was it didn't turn out to be, but it was worth investigating, right? My buddy Mike Nice, when they were building their new garage and new house on their property there, and they went and ran the magnet over the dirt to pick up all of the loose nails and stuff, and this weird rock stuck to the magnet. And he was totally cool with the fact that it wasn't. And I was like, "Can I keep your rock to to educate others?" Yeah, sure. I don't want it back. He handled that really well. My nurse the other day, even though the science teacher had said that their rock was likely a meteorite, she handled it really well. She was like, "Well, thanks. We're still going to put it up on the shelf. And at least now we know. Um, and I always reiterate, especially to those people who handle it really well, that just because they said no this time doesn't mean don't bring me any more rocks. Like I want to see the next rock. Bring me more rocks. And um, like I say, the more that if I can explain to these people who are bringing me this stuff why it isn't or why it is, they may do a better job picking a rock next time, right? They'll be like, no, no, we picked up lots of those and we know better now. But what about this is different? This looks different. So, um, again, I don't want to crush and ruin dreams. That's not fun, and it's not fun for me or the other person. But if you can handle it and then make some adjustments, or even if we can walk away like me and my friend Jerry just agree to disagree, and then that's an okay turnout for me. And I do hope that uh you know, even though that's not the answer a lot of people wanted, that they stay curious enough that they do bring that next rock to me, even if it isn't the meteorite. So, yeah, I felt bad for Joseph though. So there, I ran him over with my bus twice today. I'm sorry. I love you. uh, it happened though, and like I say, he's a nice guy. He really is, and he means no harm. You know, just a character, just a character for sure, and a character that you know is the greater community. So yeah, Google Lens tells me that I have a meteorite all the time, though. Exactly, buddy. I've seen some wild stuff. I've seen people who found rocks and used AI to completely generate what looks like scientific reports and stuff that's all like pseudo juju, pseudoscience juju, and it's using like actual classification terms and stuff, but not quite right, maybe. And like I've seen some weird stuff, and AI is sometimes really not helpful. Yeah, rock ID is fun. Crushing people's dreams, not so much. Yeah, yeah. And again, like with this fall in Ohio, it may take, there may be people who are, like I say, kind of eyeballing that rock in the driveway as they're getting in and out from work in the morning and the afternoon, and they're like, yeah, I know. And they'll see one on the news as soon as they're found and be like, ah, maybe that is. So, and that brings a lot of like brand new meteorite people into the hunt, and like I say, even the father son that got in on that hunt with Chris Sanders, and the kid found pretty much the biggest piece up until then. um I think it's great when people have no idea but are courageous enough to ask. I started there. I started with I have no idea, and I just need to be brave enough to ask. Yeah, some of it is wee, wee, fun. So, yeah, like I say, I'm looking forward to the Ohio Fall. I hope they find some of it today. That's not unreasonable. I'm actually surprised they haven't found any of it yet. Maybe they have. Maybe I just haven't seen the notification yet. Uh, like I say, I got some messages from Dustin Dickens, and he was like, hope to see you there. And I was like, I'm not there, but if you find anything, please let me know. And he was like, will do. So, again, I've got my finger right on the pulse of that Ohio Fall. I can feel the heartbeat. And if anything changes, you guys will know immediately via a post or a live update or something like that. So, and again, as soon as I see it, I'll start making some predictions and some guesstimations and more information for you guys too. Yeah, yeah, and again, that so NASA, Brenda says NASA is saying it was huge. That's correct. And there is a gentleman who is boots on the ground right now, and he's taking the Doppler radar data and the reports from the AMS, and he's building a trajectory map. And doing so because he's a NASA dude. NASA says the strewn field probably looks like this, okay? Which he's doing the best that he can. And then when that information hit the internet, which it's still there and readily available, it's actually really neat information, really good information. Like half the crew said, no, 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 that's not right, and I believe it's more over here. And the other half the crew said, I'm going to start here. So the sea is divided. Even though, uh, like I say, there's even folks that are working for NASA who are working on this, and the weather data maps and the strewn field predictions and all of that stuff are just the first kind of like suggestion on where to look. Uh, it could be wrong, it could be right. Um, We'll know more when the actual boots on the actual ground find the actual rocks on the ground. So I wish all the hunters luck. I can't even find the fire agate I lost in my bedroom, says the opal guy. Well, a heads up would have been nice, NASA, says Betty. Yeah, right. Yeah, how'd they miss that? A 7-ton rock was hurtling in our direction and they didn't even know. Oh, let's actually like thank our lucky stars that they didn't. And let me say why. I wonder if your meteor is related to the Germany one. No, no, I don't believe they are. And we will know that for sure very soon. Um, the pieces of the Germany fall that were retrieved look like they might be Martian. In fact, I don't want to say that this and be like, you're wrong. But it might be a Martian sugartite, which is actually, there's like three types of Martians. What is it? Chesignite, sugartite, and I can't remember what the other one is right offhand. Anyway, that's even a rare type for Martian. Like, and Martian's rare. It might be a chesignite, you guys. It might be a Martian. So, um, and again, that's just visual. We haven't heard from a lab yet what it is. It could just be an HED, a Howardite eukaryote diagonite, um, from Vestin like comets. We don't know yet, but we'll know very soon if they pick up pieces of this meteorite and it's an ordinary chondrite or it's a fingers crossed, a mesosiderite or a bencubanite or something pretty, then we would certainly know that they were not related, right? Um, it would be really exceptional and extraordinary if two pieces of the same material hit a week apart from each other. Um, I mean, yeah, that'd be like winning the lottery 4 times in one day. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's impossible. You know, statistically, that's not likely enough for it to, but we'll know hopefully very soon. So, uh, that kind of reminds me of Chelly again. And let me back up to Betty's. Thanks for letting us know, NASA. Knockalites. Thank you. You're right. Yes, sugartite, chesignite, and knockalite. You're right. Thank you, Bear. Um. Anyway, there have been some predicted falls. 7 maybe in total. And when those falls hit the ground, they're worth twice as much when they're retrieved as ones that weren't predicted. So even though this is a witness fall, and even though that one in Germany is a hammerstone, it punched a hole in a roof, that those things drive the price up already. But if we predicted it, knew we were coming, turned our telescopes and our cameras to that direction, watched it enter, and then we're able to go pick pieces of, oh man, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You might as well just every rock you pick up is like printing $100 bill. So we're glad actually that they didn't see it coming because it would have made it more expensive. No, we do like that they do predict some of these falls. That's super cool. Um, I was able to see that done for the first time in my lifetime. That we could see something that small, big, big, small, big, small, small, big, big, small. However you want to describe it, because it was big, but it was also tiny compared to a lot of things in space, right? Um, it's fascinating that we're getting that much better eyes on the sky that we can predict some of these falls. And if they predicted every dang one of them, that kind of take the thrill and the excitement out of it, wouldn't it? But yeah, no, I think, like I say, there's been 7 witnessed predicted falls. Um, and none of them have even been as big as this one. So it is interesting that we'll see a smaller one, but not a bigger one. And again, like Chelly, like I want to go back to Chelly again. You guys want to see Chelly while we talk about it? We were all aiming our telescopes at that sky that very morning that this happened, looking at Comet 2022, 2013 IAC 2 dash whatever, however they name comets, right? Not naked eye visible, but all of the astronomers and hobby astronomers and people who were interested actually had their telescopes looking at this comet. And the reason why we didn't, and I'm going to guess that the same reason why they didn't see the Ohio fall coming. The reason we didn't see the Chelly fall coming is because if you watch the videos, the sun's coming up, a daytime event, just like Ohio. Sun's coming up. And from the same direction as the sun comes Chelly. And so I've used the analogy of playing baseball. When you're looking at the pitcher and the sun is above your head, not in line with, sorry, I got a hair stuck on my hair tie. The sun's way up here and the pitcher's over here. When the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, you can see the ball and the pitcher and everything. But as it comes up to, once it gets up in the sky, oh my God, you can't see that ball anymore. And now you're like, shoot, you put your glove out, you hope you catch it, but you can't see it against the glare of the sun. So the same thing happens. Our telescopes, our eyes on the sky are great, but we can't see things coming from the glare of the sun, coming from the same direction as the sun. We can, just not as good as. We can't see it very good, right? It's really tricky and challenging. So, Chelly, bang, bang. Oh my God. It's not bad enough that I got drink cactus juice. It's the quenchiest. It'll quench you. It's not bad enough that I got that stuck in my brain, but now I got Chelly, bang, bang in my brain. Oh, the stuff that gets stuck up there. It just, yeah, there's a little window into my brain for the day. Yeah, so much like Chelly. And I'm guessing that's why they didn't see this great big meteorite or little tiny hour, like I say, whatever your perspective is, coming over Ohio, is because it also did the same thing. Daytime event, hard to look into the sun and see things coming. So, you right, right, Bear. I know how to get them. My battery's gonna die. We'll sneak in from their blind side. Holy 1%. That were close. I bet you guys aren't even getting a clear video or audio right now, are ya? Oh, I'm sorry, Brenda. Hey, look at what's happening in Brenda's brain right now. It's a pancake. Oh, the peanut obsidian gets me too. The peanut obsidian gets me with the song Peanut sat on the railroad track. His heart was all flutter. Around the bend came number 10. Swish! Peanut butter! Peanut obsidian. Yep. Yep. The weird stuff that, like, it's an inside joke. Like, Solid said something about One Punch the other day, and I put it in her chat. And I put it in the chat, it says One Punch. But the way that I said it when I put it in the chat was One Punch. And again, that's that damn cartoon, that anime cartoon my kids made me watch 1,000 times when they were little. And it's not even One Punch, it was One Piece, and it was a pirate treasure hunting anime. They were all out hunting pirate treasure together, and they were looking for the one piece of treasure. But the way that the font looked, I would always see the font and not really listen to what was happening on the TV all the time. And I'm like, oh, One Punch. And my kids were like, One Punch? What are you talking about? And I'm like, that cartoon you guys are always watching, not One Punch cartoon. And they were like, One Punch. And it came on the TV when I'm like, look, One Punch. And they're like, It says one piece. Because it's the one piece of treasure that they're, searching for. But anyway, it just stuck. It stuck, and then their music, the intro music's always like one piece, and I was always like one punch. So yeah, drink cactus juice. It's the quenchiest. It'll quench you. Good thing too, because I need a quenching. It did. It did what I hoped it would do and beyond, you guys. Look how clean those came out. You can still see the sparkle in that bone. It didn't change these rocks. Like the the Opticon, the Opticon was a freaking disaster. Although I will try this again, and I think now that I've used it once, I could probably do a better job now that I'm familiar with what the result is going to be and what the process is. I was like, I have no idea. Thank God Brian and Julie read my mind or got my telepathic, um, 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 what's it called? Beep, 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 beep. My, uh, Morse code message that I sent from my brain to Julie's brain or whatever happened there where they were like, we should interview the Cactus Juice guy. Literally, as I'm over here like, I'm gonna try stabilizing stuff. Oh, thank God they did. You guys, thank God they did that. That was so cool of them. And like I say, it couldn't have worked out better. It's like I sent a telepathic message to Julie and was like, hey, I have no idea how to use cactus juice, and if you're gonna have the guy at your house, would you just like have him talk about it a little bit? When I saw that notification come up, I was like, what? How do they know? So, um, yeah, we watched it. It was really helpful. One batch turned out not great, but it was my first try. And again, now that I'm familiar with what'll happen if I put it right on the tin foil, and I know, like, what to expect after I had no idea. I had no freaking clue. I had no idea what I was doing. So it turned out really good. Now you want me? He did say that too. He was like, now we can be out in the field and be like, should we bring this rock home? No. Well, yes, we should, because we can. Oh, lava. It's okay. Hounding season is so close. We're almost there. It's actually supposed to be really nice this week, like above average nice. I heard the same thing kind of for those of you in Arizona. Sorry. I heard it's hot as hell in Arizona already. It's not funny, but it is. I was kind of in the same boat as you, Opal guy. I was like, I don't want to have to stabilize anything. If it needs stabilizing, it ain't tough enough for this prairie house. But my mind was changed when I saw the peanut obsidian. It wooed me. It swept me off my feet. It blew my mind, and I fell in love. And I was like, you know what? I'll invest whatever it takes um, to keep that from falling apart and to be able to work it. Oh God, I'm head over heels over that. And in all reality, I did have other stuff. Again, this Spencer stuff. This isn't the nicest pattern. It's just what I had, and I was like, while I'm learning, I'm just gonna put whatever in there and figure out what happens, right? So, but yeah, I do have more stuff that I won't put in, and that I will still try to put in. So we'll be learning as we go. And I do still love lava, even though my opals turned black. That's not all his fault. I have to take some credit there too. Definitely do. So, and I'm excited about the getting the information more from the Germany fall. Um, Steve Arnold has, I think, 2 grams of that, and he may be willing to part with it if you're interested in that. You can either reach out to him or myself, and we'll kind of. It's probably way too rich for this prairie girl, but I may have a micro of it coming my way. And by micro, I mean the absolute definition of micro. So, but see what happens for classification on that. I am just guessing that it's I know for sure it's not an ordinary chondrite. I'm guessing that it might not even just be an ordinary achondrite though either. It might be something a little above average, a little extraordinary. We'll see. And again, I have no speculations, guesses, or ideas on this Ohio fall. It doesn't remind me of anything. I can't really say, oh, only thing that I really can compare it to is Chili because of the way that it sonic boomed. And I don't even find those to be similar in any way. It just that the only thing, like I said last night on the live, I haven't been that excited by a sonic boom since Chili. Otherwise, I have no guesstimations about this new fall. And I hope they gosh dang find it soon so that I can quit wondering. And man, I just I say it every time. I really hope it's something pretty. I hope it's something fancy. I hope it's not just a damn L3 or L5 or you do need a place to put the dang vac chamber and stuff when you're not using it. That's for sure. That's for sure. And the cactus juice stays in the fridge, and you got to tell your children who grew up on messed up anime cartoons that are like, don't do drugs, kids, but also laugh your asses off at this scene where the guy gets a little weird on the cactus juice. I had to tell them, don't drink the cactus juice in the fridge. It is not the quenchiest. It will not quench you. Oh. No, I agree with that too, local guy. So anyway, may the luck, all the luck, may the force be with the hunters. All right, I'm gonna get off of here. I actually have rocks. Let's go look at them. In fact, why not? You guys want to see what's up next for the? Oh, as I unplug, I hope we have enough battery to make it over there and back. I should grab the flashlight so you can actually see down in there. So these have been going since 9 o'clock the night before, 12, 24, 30, I don't know how many hours now. Oh, yeah. And you can see on this brown rock that we're looking at, all the bubbles have stopped. And on this black one too. But this one over here won't stop. Now I've heard you can stop this one. Most of the bubbles have stopped. Which again, I haven't seen a bubble come out of that brown one in over 24 hours. Occasionally if I tap the side or the top of the container, a little bubble might come out of that black one back there, but not really. Oh, sorry. And then there's some smaller pieces back there that I haven't seen a bubble come out of even if I tap for a long time. But the entire time and nonstop, that teeny little string of bubbles has been coming out. Sorry, it's really hard to get everything to focus here. That tiniest little string of bubbles. There's one back there too. So, do you just keep going, like, or will it stop? You know, is that a big deal? That's not the worst thing ever, Bear. That's almost better than a muddy field, which I had heard was part of the strewn field as well. Again, whose preliminary map are you gonna go with? The one that's a little farther this way, or the one that's a little farther that way? Because the crew is kind of divided at the moment. That bone there just won't stop bubbling. I mean, get quenched already, bone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I say, they're not so sure about the NASA one, I've heard. So it is a little bit like that, isn't it, Brenda? And then I'll just set the flashlight here so that you guys can see down in there. I have this rubber spoon. Excuse me. And let's see. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm moving you around a lot, trying to get rid of the glare and the. If I tap the side of the container, sometimes it'll invigorate some more bubbles out. Let's see. Trying to get you the best view here. There we go. That ain't bad. Other than the bubble on the lid there, but ready? I'm gonna smack it. I'm gonna smack it with a spoon. Not even getting a lot of action out of that anymore. There came a couple. I like to give it a little stomp action too. I come over here and just stomp on the floor a little bit. No, that's good. That's really kind of goes for anywhere, Opal guy. You know, and that's why often the locals may have a stone in their driveway or their flower pot or they're sitting right next to the mailbox, and they just need to see some of the local finds to get them participating in the recovery and finding of the meteorites there. So that's very likely the possibility. I mean, a lot of people don't even think about this kind of thing until they wake up and it's all over their local news. And then then they kind of, and then it only is kind of a short-lived spark or flame. It burns and all the locals are excited, and you know they're seeing, especially if it's a smaller community, they're seeing meteorite hunters gathering at their local cafe, and that's kind of exciting to have new people in town. Or oops, let's not forget to do the thing because here we are at 1%. um so they'll get into it, but then kind of, after everything kind of dies down again, they're like, yeah, that one time the meteorite landed, and there were people in town looking for it, and then it just kind of, fades from their memory, and that's all the more excited about it they ever got. So And then there's the rest of us who are just like freaking obsessed and pretty much breathe, sleep, and all but eat it. So some cultures do eat meteorites, not ours. So that's another story for another day. All right, guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here, go get something to eat, build another pot of coffee because I ran out and I didn't get enough to get through such an exciting and thrilling day. I'm sure tonight on the Meteorite Crew Hangout is gonna be just nuts. So, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, and in the coming weeks, like let's see if we can get if they find stuff and it's exciting and fun. Like maybe we can get Steve Arnold to come on and do an interview with us and tell us about finding one at the bottom of the swimming pool or about gridding yards. Or how did this fall on and go? What was it like in Germany? Or maybe we can get Dustin Dickens to come on and talk about his finds on this and how what's up with classification? When can we expect a result or any of those things as things progress? Maybe we can get a few more faces up in here to so I'm not the only one talking about it. I'm not, but um yeah, you know it's always somebody always has just a little bit different point of view or opinion, or their experience leads them to have something different to add that may be interesting and beneficial. It's just, yeah, the more the merrier. So, and yeah, may the force be with them. Oh, cactus juice, I like it. I learned some things. Don't bake opal if you can avoid it. Don't put your cactus juice right on the tinfoil. So those are my words of the wise today. Otherwise, man, we're trucking right along, and I'm excited to get those dino bones pulled out of that vac chamber and put in, and when they're stable, oh my god, you guys, we're gonna have a sale soon. Peanut obsidian and dino bone. I'm gonna have a lot of it. I'm gonna have a few of it. So yeah, like I say, even if you know bidding in the auction on the NASA video that I just put out isn't your thing, you can watch the video, like the video, comment below, share it if somebody who might be interested. All of those things, like I say, it's not about getting views on the video. It's about having the algorithm push it out to people who may actually be interested in it and otherwise not have seen it. So um, all right, we're gonna do the thing. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, making me laugh. Hopefully, I made you laugh a little too, and it's actually really good. I think for us to smile and laugh, even if it's ridiculous. So drink cactus juice. It's the quenchiest. Chili, chili, bang, bang. You guys have a good rest of your day, rest of your week. I'll probably see you soon. Again, I got another video coming out, a pay dirt bag review. Look forward to that and all of the other hangs and chats and hangs from between here and now and the next time. Thank you guys again for hanging out. Yeah, we'll go with like a couple. Pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one, and they all are very pretty, and they all are everywhere. Thanks again, guys. And in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind of a rock hound. Later, hippies. Boop, boop.